Hello! In this video, we're going to walk through the process of connecting your D2L course to a WeBWorK course. This video is only for D2L courses where there is no previous connection to a WeBWorK course. So if your D2L course was copied from a previous D2L course, and that old D2L course had a connection to an old WeBWorK course, there's a different video for you. You don't want to use links in the new D2L course that take you to the old WeBWorK course, or there'll be a lot of mess to clean up. So I'm in a course such as that, and the first thing I need to do is identify what's called the org unit ID for my D2L course. If you look up in the address bar, you can see for me on this current course, it's 545396. It's usually a 6-digit number. Take that number and go visit your WeBWorK course and go into course configuration over here. Take yourself to the LTI tab on the right, and there's a place for you to enter that context ID. And then while we're here in the LTI tab, let's look at the other options that we can set. Do we want to require students and yourself to enter the WeBWorK course through D2L, or do you want to allow them to try to log into WeBWorK with a password? I recommend that once you have everything running, that you set this to true, and then both you and your students will have to enter the WeBWorK course through D2L. But until you get things running, leave it false so that you can easily get into your WeBWorK course with a password. Grade passback mode. The default is now homework, meaning that if everything is working correctly, each individual assignment's grade is going to get sent back to D2L as its own grade item. If you like, you can change this to course, and then there would only be one monolithic grade for the entire WeBWorK course, or you can turn off grade passback altogether. It will save you some headache if you can decide early on whether or not you want to use homework grade passback mode, course grade passback mode, or not use grade passback mode at all. If you decide to use one at the beginning of the term and then students start doing work and then you switch to a different grade passback mode, then you will have some messy cleanup to do, because in D2L it's going to have grade columns for things that you're no longer using. So I recommend that you spend some time and make a clear decision on how you'd like grade passback to be managed. Do you want to allow D2L to update a user's data? So on the one hand, this can be good if the student undergoes a name change in the middle of the term. On the other hand, this can be frustrating if you do things like manually give comments or assign sections to a student using the accounts manager. Then the next time D2L tries to update student data, it can erase everything that you meticulously put together there. All right, I saved changes, and now I'm going to take myself back into the D2L course. I want a couple of things in my WeBWorK course, in my D2L course, and you may want some or all of them for yourself. First, I'm going to go to content. So I'm going to walk you through one way to handle this. I've got a module called All WeBWorK Assignments. It's just a catch-all place for me to initialize everything at once. I've created that module. It's down here at the bottom. Students don't need to see it. You click on Existing Activities, WeBWorK Assignments, and all of the assignments in my WeBWorK course are available. I'm going to select all of them. Note here at the top, I could have chosen just a generic link to go to the WeBWorK course's landing page instead of to individual assignments. But I'm going to have individual links first. So this is my selection. I submit choices. And now, after a little bit of time, I have links to all of those WeBWorK assignments here in this module. In my actual modules, I want to use those links. I've already got a lot of structure set up here. You might not have that yet, but when you're ready to add a link to the individual WeBWorK assignments, it's important to not repeat what we did a moment ago. When we were on that page where we made that catch-all list of links to WeBWorK, those created connections from D2L to WeBWorK. And if you repeat that process again, you'll be duplicating those connections, and you don't want that. You'd have like double entries in the grades column. So instead, what we're going to do is Existing Activities. Don't scroll all the way down to WeBWorK Assignments. Instead, go to External Learning Tools. Now, you'll find the links that we already created in the first step. Here in Module 1, I'm going to want a link to WeBWorK 10.1. I'm going to want a link to 10.2 and also to 10.3. So now I have those here in my module. For me, I'm going to take the time to reposition these higher up in the list. And now here in Module 1, I have my usual items for students, and I have individual links to those various WeBWorK assignments. I would continue to do this for Modules 2, 3, 4, etc. Okay, now in addition to these links from Module 1 to these sections that are relevant to that module, up in the nav bar for the course, I'd also like access to WeBWorK. And that can happen in one of two ways. Here within the links item, you might put your link to WeBWorK. You might be able to make it an actual item that stands out on its own. So either way, what I'm going to do next is return to my catch-all module for WeBWorK assignments. And I'm going to initialize that basic link to WeBWorK that is not specific to any particular assignment. So I'll use existing activities WeBWorK assignments, and this time choose that generic link at the top. Scroll down, submit choices, and at the very bottom, this added a generic link to WeBWorK assignments. Okay, so we're going to make use of that link up in the nav bar. First, I'm going to just add it to the nav bar directly. So actually, I should have just gone to edit this nav bar, and we're going to add a link. It's going to be a custom link. Instead of typing a URL, you use a quick link to the external learning tool that you just created. So it's none of these ones that are specific to an assignment. It's this one that was called assignments. I seem to have two versions of it. I think that's because I have been making this video several times. You can give a description to this. Click to add that link to your nav bar. I'm going to reposition it, save and close. So now in my nav bar, there's this link to WeBWorK. All right, what if you don't want it here? What if you want it in your links area? All right, go to links. Do you have any categories? I don't have any yet, so you're going to have to create a new category and call it WeBWorK. And then create a new link. You have to choose a category. And instead of giving a URL, click the little icon for a quick link and go into External Learning Tools. And once again, pick this link that was called Assignments. Again, I have two of them. That's probably not the case for you. You can give a brief description, make sure the box is checked to open in a new window, and let's save. All right, so now if I'm a student, I could try to follow this WeBWorK link, or I could try to follow the links here and click this one to log into WeBWorK. So that concludes the basic LTI 1.3 setup for D2L into WeBWorK.